Hello my scrappy friends and welcome to my channel. So as you are well aware, it is July already. I have another share for you today, and this is for Scrap the Boys, and this month is all about road trip or adventure. Now hubby went on a big trip to Japan last year, and this is the page that I'm scrapbooking. I'm using two of the cut files. I've used the adventure and the travel from this one, and the word fun from this one. And I've welded the word travel and fun together. I used the silhouette design, studio design, whatever it's called, to work out how I wanted to cut my files, and I've cut those on smooth white cardstock. I'm working on smooth white cardstock as well, and as you can see, it's a photo of hubby with an F1 car. Like I said, he travelled to Japan last year for the F1, and it was something that he's wanted to do for a number of years, so he was very excited to do that. And I thought when I saw this prompt that this was a good month to at least scrap one of these photos. I'm using some black gesso here with this stencil. I've taped off around the edges so that I don't get the other bits that I don't want. I've also used a lead pencil to mark where my photo is going, and I love that this is like the checkered flag kind of thing happening. So I was like, yes, I'm going to use that. I tried to use the palette knife to spread it through, but I found that using this sponge was a little bit, it was more effective, gave me better coverage. And all I've got there is a really cheap makeup sponge, probably, knowing me, from Daiso. So I'm just adding that in 3 areas around my photo. You know, everything works better in a triangle. So, and because it's quite a thin coat, it doesn't take very long at all to dry. I did speak to hubby. I'm like, do I go with the blue and the red in the background, or do I go with black or grey? Or and we agreed that we thought that the black and grey in the background would work better, and then add colour to the photo. So I have added some water to my gesso, and I've added black splatters. I've let that dry, and I've come back in here. So I've got a few different grey things happening. This first one is a shimmers spray. You'll see when I get to the other greys how some of them are kind of green based and cooler and warmer and stuff. But I go in with a few different grey products, and I'm starting with that one from Shimmers. You can see I'm just using the packaging, and then I'm dabbing it up quickly. It was a little bit too dark for what I wanted, so that's why I'm dabbing it up again. You can see I'm spraying the colour onto the packaging, adding a spritz of water, and then smushing my packaging down, and I'm just going straight over the top of that black gesso. I'm going to clean off my packaging, and I'm going to come in with, what do I come in with next? This is Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide Spray, and it's very similar in colour to the spray that I added down already. This is a chalk permanent archival ink pad, so you can see that I have got a stain on that plastic now, but it doesn't bother me. It's rubbish plastic that I can reuse. The colour won't come off. And so I'm just adding that as well. I found the trick was just making sure I added water straight away, and then I could smush it down. I wanted a different shade of grey again, so I've gone with some Colour Blast Colour Artist ink in Soot, and my Dilutions, what is that called? Dilutions spray, and I've mixed those together. And you can see this is a different kind of grey again, but I really like this grey, and I really like the end result here. So you can see I spritz that with water as well, and I'm just going around and smushing the colour, dabbing it up a bit more, and then I think you can see some of that grey is more blue. So yeah, just checking where I want that, and I'm like, what am I going to do with my cut file? Now I have intentionally cut the word fun, so there is a dude in the back right hand side of my photo that I do not want in the photo. So I have intentionally cut that cut file so that it will cover him up. Some more splatters, and I'm just using my Colour Artist ink and this fan brush because I just wanted some little splatters. Then I'm going to come in and splatter with my white because that seems to be my jam lately. And I think I'm going to pop this aside to dry. Yep, and then I'm going to work on my title. So I am adding some black, probably archival ink to this, just for a bit of texture, and also to my adventure word. This is just a script stencil by Vicky Booten. It's really awesome for just a little bit of texture. I did share a sneak peek of this actually. So this is the project that I was working on. I'm going to clean off my mat there, and then I'm going to come in with my Distress Oxide sprays. I'm pretty sure that is Mermaid Lagoon and Faded Jeans. This is really fun and easy technique. So I'm just going to shake those up. If you haven't used the oxide sprays, make sure you shake them up properly. It is not recommended that you shake them up and down. I don't really understand why, but it says to shake them side to side. And make sure that you've got one colour all the way through so that those two different inks mix together. That one on the in the middle is the Mermaid Lagoon, and then the Faded Jeans, and you can see I've just dabbed my cut file into that. I'm going to dry off between coats. This is one of the fantastic things about the oxide inks. You can layer them and you get that really cool, fun, layered thing, technique, look happening. If you have a problem with turning into a Smurf on your hands, I recommend wearing gloves and not dipping your finger straight into it like I have. I did have blue hands for a number of days. In fact, I've used my oxide sprays again and have blue hands again. Here is a quick close-up. I really love how they turned out. I did find that they were blending in a bit too much to the background, so I have grabbed a black pen and drawn an outline around all those letters. And now I am going to build my layout. So I've got these, Michelle Grant recently had a sale on boxes of product, and I bought one, and it had this pink paisley collection in it. Now the line is called Patriotic or something, and it is very patriotic for America. I mean, no offense by this, I just want to clarify that it's not really my jam. I love the colors in it, so I just kind of went, you know what, I'm just going to use it for the colors and the icons. I love that red chevron, it's so awesome. And obviously, if you know me, you know I love stars, so I love this red and blue star pattern as well. So I'm just going to use those as layers behind here. If you're observant, you'll notice that there's white and cream on this page. I have found the trick to getting the white and the cream to work together is to add more. Because the papers have got so much cream in them, I felt that the trick was to add more white, and I'm really happy with the balance here. I feel like it looks like it was intentional and not a whoopsies, I didn't realize until the last minute kind of thing. So yeah, if you struggle with white and cream, I have found that if you add more of the less dominant colour, then it works fine. You can see I've torn the edges here. I really like that finish, but I decided on this blue one that I didn't want the torn edges, but just on the cream one with the stars and the red. Trimming down my layers. I also added foam between my photo and that first layer. Going to distress all my edges here. Which, if you didn't know, it's much easier to do this before you adhere all your layers together. Clearly, I wasn't feeling it fantastically that day, so I'm just roughing up the edges here a bit, adding some extra texture. I'm going to add my title in there. The adventure, I'd cut it and I didn't want to not use it, so I made it work. I thought it works good as kind of a subtitle, making sure that dude's covered up. And so in the box that I got from Michelle, there was also the sticker sheet that goes with this collection. Again, it's cream based, so I'm adding more cream and And I'm really happy with the way this page turned out, and I feel like it's balanced enough. Maybe it's not for you, and that's okay. I've added that in there, and my husband needs to add the journaling. It'll be fun to have his writing in the album. I really liked these brackets. So they're the cream, the darker blue, and the red. And I do muck around with those for a while until I find just the right place. There's a couple of places that I like them, and I'm happy with where they are. But yeah, I figured these little ticket stubs would be perfect on this page because he had to buy tickets, admission tickets, to get in and see the car and do all those fun things. And so I'm going to basically work with those 3 areas where I've done the gessoing, the stenciling, as my main kind of embellishment areas, though I don't add very much more. I'm going to bring up those tickets again to the top left of the photo where my title is. I'm going to tuck those into the layers there. And I realized around this point that I've got my photo up on foam and I'm going to have to put most of my title up on foam, but I was like, how am I going to do that word fun? So while I contemplate that, I'm going to add some more bits and pieces. I've added some stickers, the stars. You can see those scattered around the page. I add the date down the bottom here. My husband still needs to do the journaling, but the page is done. Here is a close-up. There are some stills coming. I hope you enjoy them. Make sure, I also added some rhinestones, and so there's some silver star ones, some black ones, and some red ones. Yeah, so that is my page finished. I hope that you have enjoyed. Make sure you head over to the Scrap the Boys blog, which I will link below, and share your take on this fun challenge. I really enjoyed this one. It was lots of fun, and I will be back again soon with another share. Thanks so much for stopping by, and have a great day.